Lisa,
Yes, baby girl.
when I grow up, I want to be a WOMENACE to society.
Then so shall you be. Hey, this is Lisa Landry. Welcome back, y'all, to A Menace to Society. I'm so glad you tuned in for this episode. I'm catching up with a good friend of mine that I lost contact with. I used to know her back in New York City. She was dancing with Alvin Ailey, and she went on to tour the world. And now she's gone back to her hometown and started her own dance company. This is my good friend Kelly Hamlin. I hope y'all enjoy our conversation.
New York City is really the city of dreams, and if you go there with a great work ethic, then you're going to make something of yourself.
Yeah, there's a definite respect for the hustle in New York City.
A lot of my classmates and fellow alumni are, performing in Broadway shows, music videos, or choreographing musicals. You got to hustle. If you don't, you're not going to make it. You can't be lazy in New York or you will starve, okay?
What was it like auditioning when you first moved to New York from Richmond and you had to go on those big auditions?
It was like you see in the movies, you go in there, you got your headshot, they slap a number on you, and, they're like, all right, here we go, 5, 6, 7, 8, great. Okay, let's split up in groups. You guys go first, if if you want that job, you better dance, you better take ball change, okay? If you're not, you're going to be tap dancing or lose change in the subway, that's... It was an experience in itself. Had some really cool auditions. I almost made it into the first cast of In the Heights when it was still off Broadway. I think that was like one of my favorite auditions. Lion King audition is so funny because, I come from Ailey, so for some reason, a lot of Ailey dancers tend to drift towards Lion King. That's like their big go-to musical theater job. If you're going to do a musical as an Ailey dancer, the first and favorite gig you want to get is Lion King. So going to those auditions was like a party or like a family reunion, because when I'd go in, I'd know all the dancers there because they all came from the same place I came from. They all came from Ailey. So we'd be in there like, hey, girl, how you doing? Just like talking and stuff. And you forget why you're there. You're like, oh, yeah, we're supposed to dance. You're trying to get a job.
Right.
Okay.
I love you, and now I will outdance you. Yeah.
Right? Well, we gonna have lunch later, girl. Like, it was a big party.
Is it like heavy competition with the dancers?
Yeah, it is, because you got hundreds of people in there and only maybe 4 or 5 spots open, so you really got it. The competition is deep, and the bigger the show or the bigger the production, the more dancers show up. And when it comes to casting calls, if it's a union gig, and you're not in a union, yeah, good luck if they even have time to see you, It is extremely competitive, so you got to come in there and you got to dance your ass off if you want to be seen, because you're in there with hundreds of other girls that are 10 times better than you. They're dressed different than you. You want to stand out to the panel of adjudicators because you want that job. And that's no time to be shy. That's where you perform.
What do you do to stand out? I've never been on a dancing audition. I can't dance.
There's little tricks you can do. You can wear a bright colored outfit that kind of, makes everybody's eye go to you when you walk in the room. It's, stage presence. It's smiling and just performing from the minute you step in the door. It's like you're on stage, but you're in a studio trying to get a job.
I don't think I could handle that. The pressure of all those people trying to learn new moves and go out there and dance.
It's intimidating, but you're prepared for it. If you have good training, then you're ready for it. You know what to expect, so you know how to prepare for it. And if you're prepared, then you'll dance with confidence and you'll have no problems. If you go in there looking a hot mess, and I've seen some people look a hot mess, you're not going to get it. But I've even seen bad dancers get jobs. You'll see someone super flexible. You walk in, you're all intimidated, oh my God, her leg is up to her head. Wow. But then, when they break out a combination, they show choreography, the dancer falls apart. And you're like, oh, really? Dancers, don't be fooled. Just because someone's flexible doesn't necessarily mean they're a good dancer. I've seen dancers that suck, but they can perform their ass off and they get jobs. It's just all about what they're looking for, and if you fit the costume and if they have a role for you. Basically, you can't take anything personal in auditions. They're just trying to fill a position, trying to put a body on stage.
And you've danced all over the world.
Yeah, I was with the 90 Chin Dance Company based in Jersey. We did a tour in Eastern Europe in the summer of 2006. 2007, I think it was. And it was so incredible. Like, we went to Lithuania, we went to Prien, Germany. We spent about 3 weeks in Poland. We went to St. Petersburg, Russia. It was incredible. The people over there treated us like we were celebrities. You know, we're just like a small modern dance company, but over there, you feel like Hollywood. We had our own personal bodyguards backstage. It was the real VIP shit. Everywhere we went to, like after parties and stuff, after our shows, we were treated like royalty. It was such an amazing experience.
Do you miss it?
Hell yeah. Yeah, man. It was my first experience traveling overseas, and when you see other countries in the world, you realize just how big the world is, and it just makes you hungry. You want to travel even more and see more places, learn about more cultures, meet more people. The world is a playground, so, like, get out there and play.
Ooh, that's very deep.
Get your plane ticket and go get in some trouble overseas,
Pack your tap shoes. The professional life of a dancer is shorter. The window is shorter.
It is.
That's physical. That's not. It's not about talent level. That's just your physicality, right? Because I went to theater school, but I don't sing or dance, so I was in a different program. But the singers and dancer peoples, they would all tell me, like, you dance until you're 27, 28 if you're lucky.
Yeah, and then if you really can keep yourself in shape, you might last into your 30s. A lot of professional Broadway stars don't even get their first big breaks till they're like in their 30s or mid-30s or sometimes 40s. If you keep yourself in shape and you got self-discipline, you'll be able to stretch out your career as long as you can. But yeah, typically when you hit, you know, like 30s and stuff, you're like late 20s or 30s, like, okay, well, I think I'm done. Let's go ahead and teach and help raise the next generation of dancers because I can't do this anymore. My body hurts.
You started your own dance company.
Yep, started the KrasH Dance Productions. We're based here at the Dogtown Dance Theater in Richmond. They've been so great to us ever since then. I started the company officially in 2015 when I left New York and moved back home. I applied for a space grant for free rehearsal space to create new works. With that, I launched my company. I created 4 brand new works that we premiered here in Richmond in that year. And in the following year, we performed in the Virginia Dance Festival as well as the 3rd annual Richmond Dance Festival. And we've been going since then.
So you've accomplished a lot in a very small time.
Yeah, but that's that New York, you know, that's that hustle. You know, you gotta keep it going. If you don't, what are you gonna do? Sit around and watch TV and get fat? No, can't do that. Life is more than that. You gotta get out there and contribute to society somehow. So that's my way of giving back.
And you are giving back. You're choreographing new dance routines for young people and putting them out there on the stage. Mm-hmm. And giving them actual insight. Like, this is how you do it. This is how you get booked. This is how you go on tour.
In addition to having my own company, I teach at various dance studios. So working with students younger ages and some beginner adults, too, that want to pursue dance as a profession, I like to mentor them and just kind of guide them in a way that I wish I had coming up. It's a cutthroat industry. And if you're not prepared, like I said before, then you're going to drown. So I like to pass my knowledge and experience on to other dancers that want to pursue dance professionally so that they make the right decisions and they can reach their goals at a faster pace at a younger age. Because, like you said, a dancer's life expectancy is not that long. So you want to get good start right away so you can make the most of your career in a short period of time.
Right. You're supposed to start young, aren't you?
Well, I mean, traditionally a lot of people do, but I mean, Misty Copeland started when she was like 13. And for girls, that's like impossible. And look at her now. She's amazing. If you have the mindset, the passion, the drive, and the work ethic, you can start at any age and get really good.
I have a confession.
Okay. The confessions of Lisa.
I have a confession. Well, you know, I was a very awkward fat child. I've kept my awkwardness. I've lost a few pounds, but I was always...
You look fantastic. You look great now. I meant to tell you that. Been keeping up with you on social media. I'm like, work, Lisa. Yes.
You're very kind. Yeah, I like being outdoors. I like hiking, and I like lifting weights, and I like meditating and stuff like that.
Yes.
But I can't dance. I was actually held back. I took dance class when I was a child, and
I never knew this.
I know. I don't tell people. I'm telling people now for the first time. But I was actually held back. I went back after the summer break when I think I was like 8 or 9, and the instructor actually held me back and made me take the same class over again.
Wow.
I was a remedial dancer, Kelly. But in honor, I was remedial, girl. But in honor of our interview, I'm wearing a tutu right now. So
Yes.
That's all for you, Kelly. That's Kelly Hamlin. Okay.
Oh my God.
Do you ever get people like me though in your class? You're like, oh my God, this child has no rhythm. Oh my gosh, I can't do anything with this.
It has happened from time to time. Each person learns differently. Some people are visual learners. Some people are very analytical learners. It's just a matter of finding a way to communicate with that dancer to help them, find their rhythm, find a downbeat, retain information. Everybody's different. And if you're a really good teacher, if you're a really good dance teacher, then you will learn how to communicate to that student so that they can progress and you can help them with their weaknesses so that they progress a little bit.
Are you saying it wasn't my fault I was held back?
Yeah, it's not your fault.
Thank you.
I was just a bad teacher.
Thank you for the absolution.
Didn't have patience.
They probably they probably wanted to hold me back because I was taller so they could stick me in the back row that year on stage.
Oh, you were one of the tall kids.
Well, if you hold a person back, you're going to be taller, but like, we'll solve this problem. Put that Shablinka back in the row where she can't be seen this year. Because, they do the review at the end of the year where everybody comes and they do the dance recital.
Wait, how you can't dance? You're from New Orleans, right?
Yeah.
Oh, come on. Like, all of the music and culture down there, there's a really rich dance history there. How can you not dance and you're from New Orleans?
Okay, well, New Orleans, you got 2 out of 3 options. You can either be a really good chef, you can be a really good drinker, partier, or you can dance. I know how to cook.
Why'd you ever cook for us when we were at comic strip? Come on, dude.
Because I had a very small kitchen. Well, they don't like it when you cook in New York City. I used to enjoy cooking, and I always got kind of shade from people, other women.
Well, it's hard to cook up there because your kitchen's like the size of a closet in some of those apartments.
That is very true.
Your kitchen's in your bathroom. You're like, okay, same sink. It's all good.
The things we did for New York.
Yes, man, the things we do for New York. Ooh.
Yeah, but
I can't. An Olympic sport living in New York.
Yeah, right? How much can you take?
I know, right? That's pretty much it. Yeah, that's what happens. It's like a contest. It's like, how much can you handle?
New York is a very abusive relationship. It's like you keep going back to some guy who's punching you in the face, but then he's like, you look pretty. You look cute. I love you, girl, right? I love you. I didn't mean it. Stay another month.
Okay.
But you're back in Richmond.
Yep, back in good old Richmond, Virginia.
How are your parents liking you being back and making all these good things happen for the community?
Oh, they love it. They really do. A little too much. I've been gone so long. I was used to, boundaries. Like, I didn't have to be bothered with them a lot. But now that I'm back home, they like to hang out a lot. They like to go out to eat a lot. They like to go shopping a lot. And I don't like to do any of those things. So they're constantly, I feel like I guess they're catching up on all the years I've been gone in New York. So now they're like, hey, you want to do this? Hey, you want to come over and go here? Or, hey, you want to come with us this weekend? We're going here. I'm like, no, I have rehearsal, or, I have to choreograph something, or I have to teach a class. Like, they don't understand the dancer's work week because they're retired. So they're just hanging out. They got time to party all the time. I don't have that luxury yet, so while they're taking beach trips and stuff, I'm over here, teaching 8 classes a day, trying to pay the rent. I'm like, must be nice, Mom and Dad. So it has been nice being home and spending time with them that I kind of missed out on all the years I was in New York. But it was an adjustment at first, but they're very happy that I'm here, especially considering my brother is away. He's in the Army.
Your parents wouldn't kick you out if you moved in? They wouldn't have to take you to court to kick you out of the house? Like that dude, that long-haired dude?
Oh my God. Those two, they're funny. They're really funny. My dad, if it was up to him, I would be in that house right now. He would have never let me leave home ever. I'd be like that 40-year-old virgin living at my parents' house if it was up to my dad. My mom, on the other hand, she was the complete opposite. She's like, get out there, see the world. I want you to do good, get some exposure, live your life. And so when I came back home, she's like, yeah, I redecorated your room. You're not coming back. So you need to find an apartment.
She had an ulterior motive. Oh, my gosh.
Well, she's retired. She's finally hit that empty nest period. My brother's gone. I'm gone. It's just her and Dad kicking it in the house. She didn't have a bunch of people to clean up after and cook for her. She's like, yeah, it's time to party.
Yeah, right. Mimosa with my Wednesday breakfast at 11:30 a.m.
Right?
After I go do my walk, watch my show, call my daughter. It's kind of a baller lifestyle, actually, isn't it?
Right?
Mm-hmm.
That's the goal right there. Retirement.
But not yet. You got a lot of stuff going on. You have a big event coming up.
I got a lot going on right now.
Yeah.
Our company is hosting the first ever Small Plates Choreography Festival, which is curated by a choreographer in Newburgh, New York, named Beth Elliott. And she has a dance festival circuit that she's trying to expand along the East Coast, which is very rare for a lot of dance festivals. Usually they're only based in one city. She's one of the few that's doing a multiple city-based dance festival. So my company performed in her festival in Northern Virginia last year, and she was so impressed with us that she not only invited us to come back, but asked if we would like to host the first ever of her festival here in Richmond. So we're going to be at the Dogtown Dance Theater on June 29th and 30th at 8 p.m. And it's an informal showing. Tickets are on sale. If you check us out online, you can get your tickets in advance. It's a very informal showcase, so it's really cool because afterwards, instead of just clapping and leaving, the audience actually gets to do a Q&A with the performers, and you get to talk and ask the choreographers about the work that was shown and have a little feedback, conversation, just to bring the dance community together here in Richmond. So I'm really excited because we're bringing companies, not just from the Richmond area, but also from out of state. We've got some companies coming in from Pennsylvania, from New York. So it's going to be a really, really fun event, and it's really going to help boost the image of the Richmond dance community. So I'm really excited about that.
Well, Richmond is a big arts community town.
Yeah, and it wasn't always like that, but over the last 10 to 15 years, it's just been thriving with arts, especially seeing as schools like VCU are here, and their arts department is one of the top 10 in the nation. So it's breeding this culture of very conscious, culturally aware artists that are presenting some really great works, as far as fine arts, performing arts. This is what I wish it was years ago when I was here. If it was like this 15 years ago, I wouldn't have left to go to New York. But now that the arts community is really growing, it's a really cool place to be as an artist.
Do you think it's growing to where you wanted it when you were younger? Because so many people like yourself have gone off to larger markets, literally seen the world, and then you go back to New York or LA or wherever you're based, and you just think, this is all good, but I am getting to a point where I want to be near my family. I want to establish myself as a founder of my own dance troupe, and I can go to a smaller market and make it happen.
Yes. Yeah, Richmond is a perfect mid-sized city to do that. That was the challenging part about being in New York. The last few years I was there, I had first attempted to start a dance company, but it's so hard because the city is so big and it's so heavily populated with artists, and everybody and their mom is trying to start a dance company. So there's a lack of rehearsal space available. There's a lack of affordable theater rentals available. So it's just, it's just like that same concept of being in an audition with hundreds of dancers trying to get the same job you're doing. Trying to start your own dance company in a large city like New York, same thing. It's competitive because there's a lot of people out there that are doing the same thing you're doing. We're all applying for the same grants. We're all trying to rent the same theaters. We're all trying to get the same studios for rehearsals, but because there's so many of us, they can't cater to all. Mm-hmm. So I find that if you move to a mid-sized city, it's a little bit easier to do that because the arts communities in those cities are not as large compared to cities like New York. So there's that.
Yeah, there's space. There's breathing space.
Yes.
Growing space.
Yeah. I try to do things that bring all the dancers together, because the one problem with the Richmond dance community, and I'm sorry, I know I shouldn't be saying this, but it is true. There's a lot of social segregation amongst the dance community, and so we need more events that bring everybody together, because the dance community here is too small for everybody to be feuding with each other or trying to compete with each other. You know, we're all here trying to do the same thing, so let's just support each other while we do it.
Do you ever get any of those like stage moms? Speaking of wedges, speaking of claws.
There have been some studios that I have taught at where I've experienced parents that are heavily invested in their child's dance education. I will say that. Sometimes those are people that maybe wanted to dance when they're younger, but they never followed through with it, so they never pursued it. So they're kind of like living vicariously through their children. Or they just realize that their kid is just that talented and they're so supportive of their child that they are willing to do anything to see them succeed. So, yes, I have.
Mm-hmm. Have you noticed that more young people are taking dance? Is there a boom?
Yes, there is a big boom. One thing I noticed right away when I moved back to Richmond was that there is a huge amount of dance studios and dance facilities opening up, which is fantastic because when I was growing up, there was only a couple studios that you could go to, so you didn't really have a lot of options. But now there are so many dance studios open within the Richmond tri-state area, and there's a big interest in dance now because kids see it on TV. You know, you have things like So You Think You Can Dance and Dancing with the Stars. And so because of that, you know, kids are like, oh, I want to do that. What's that? Contemporary? I want to do that. Where can I take that? Or, oh my God, that guy was really awesome at that tap dance. I want to do. And so now that dance is coming back to television, there's an interest for it. Every time I go take my students to a competition, it looks like So You Think You Can Dance. I mean, everybody's doing those same styles you see on that show. It's heavily in the competition circuit, and more students, more and more kids want to participate in that. So it is a growing industry.
Do you dance in ballet shoes? I guess you do, right?
Oh, I have a whole bunch of shoes I dance in. I dance in ballet shoes, tap shoes, jazz shoes, barefoot when I go to do contemporary and modern stuff. And I have not put on a pair of point shoes in years, and I probably will not. One of my bosses has been begging me to. No. Those shoes are torture chambers. You couldn't pay me to put on point shoes ever again. It's a beautiful art form. Oh my God, my poor feet. Oh yeah, dude. It's gotta, again, you gotta be a tough person for that. Pain is beauty. That is some kind of pain, okay? But it's beautiful if you can get past that.
Well, isn't that what they say about childbirth?
Yes.
Fake news. You are super talented, Kelly.
Thank you.
I'm so glad for your success. Aw, thank you. Thank you. I would get up and do a plie for you, but you'd laugh at me and kick me in the butt. Here's a microphone.
You do a plie in your tutu?
Stop that.
Yes.
So what does your husband think? Is he from Richmond too? Is he from Virginia?
No, he's originally from the South Bronx.
Oh, so he's Southern boy too?
Yeah.
Southern Bronx.
That hard city boy. Wow. I'm like, you grew up in the Bronx? And you're still alive? Oh my God. What was that like?
How did you convince a Bronx man to move to Richmond? You must be working some good loving on that man.
You know what it was? It wasn't me. It was my dad. He is like the grill master, and one of my husband's weaknesses is barbecue ribs. And so one visit, I brought my husband here. It was, when we were still dating, so he was my boyfriend at the time. And I think it was like the spring or summer, and my dad was so excited we were coming to visit that he cooked that on the grill. And my husband had his food for the first time, and he was like, oh my God. It just ruined him for the rest of it. He can't have ribs in a restaurant or anywhere else. It has to be my dad's barbecue ribs. So after that, he was like, if we lived in Richmond, we could see your parents a lot more often. I'm like, no, that's why we're in New York, because I don't want to see my parents. And he's like, but your dad's a great cook, and you're not. Oh, okay, cool, all right.
Oh my gosh. See, I thought it was your good loving that made that man move to Richmond, but it was actually your daddy's meat.
Yep.
You're just side dishes. You are like the ultimate side dish.
Yep.
You are potato salad and macaroni and cheese.
Way to a man's heart is through his stomach.
Daddy's
even
rib.
If it's not from you. Dad'll take care of that for you. That sounds so wrong.
Look.
I think think that's what sold him on moving to Richmond. It was my dad's cooking.
That's sweet, too, that you found such a good man who maybe has an affinity for your own.
Yeah.
From the Bronx. And he has an affinity for your family and your daddy's cooking. That's sweet. You know? There's a lot of good men out there.
There are.
You know, I never lived with any of them, but I know they exist.
They're very scarce nowadays. You know, when I first met him, and I couldn't believe he was a real person. I'm like, okay, so you have no children, you have a job, you have your own place, and you have your shit together. Oh my God, you're not a hologram, are you? Wait a minute, let me poke you. You're not real.
He's a serial killer.
Not real.
He's wanted in 5 states.
Get out of here. Yeah.
Well, you deserve that. You're a great person. You're a super talented artist.
Oh, thank you, Lisa.
Oh, thank you, Kelly. Thank you. I wish I was there in Richmond. I'd come take some classes from you, and you could teach me how to shake my butt, because nobody's accomplished being able to teach me that yet. So I'd make you some gumbo.
Yeah. Oh, yes. Please. Can I get some gumbo from Lisa? Come on. Holding out. Knowing you all these years. You're like, yeah, I'm a good cook. I'm like, you're saying that? Put that shit in the mail and ship it to me. Come on now.
Good luck, Kelly. Good luck with everything, especially June 29th and June 30th. Small plates. And,
Thank you. Small plates. Tickets on sale now. You can find tickets at my website, which is www.kellyhamlin.org. Or on Dogtown Dance Theater's website, which is where we're going to be having the performance. You can go on www.dogtowndancetheater.com and click under events, and it'll be right there, and it'll take you right to the ticket link. Our tickets are being sold on brown paper tickets, and if you just look up Small Plates Choreography Festival, it'll pop right up.
That sounds like a good time.
It's going to be fun.
Well, thank you, Kelly Hamlin. Good luck with everything you're doing. Good luck with that husband and your small plates. I wish I was in Richmond that weekend to get a taste. So, Virginia, y'all gonna have to step up or shuffle ball change, whatever y'all do. Please do come join me also on my website, lisalandry.com. You can sign up for my YouTube channel. If you subscribe, you will get first notification of when our podcast drops each week on WOMENACE Wednesday. And you can also sign up for my newsletter. You will receive a free audio download of one of my comedy tracks. I want to give a special shout out to my little man, Ari. He just danced his way through elementary school, and he's moving into middle school with the big kids. I couldn't be prouder of you. I love you, babe.